Will literally show you the Korea that you've been wanting to see.
Yes, it is time to experience the nooks and crannies of Korea as if with your own 2 feet on
K-Patch
with Jennifer Jin.
Every single week we are taking the camera out and about and filming something from Korea. It could be a tourist destination, it could be an experience, It could be anything. But we know that Jen is going to be in these videos or filming them. Thank you so much.
Yes, taking you all to every places. Almost every places, right, in Korea.
We love it. We've been, to a sheep farm. We've made makgeolli in your house as well. We've done everything.
I can't believe next week is going to be the new season already.
Do you want to break the news to our listeners? Because they're all very nervous every day this week. They're like, is this going to be the last time that we're going to see Paul or David or Korean on these? So far, it's been okay. Everyone said see you next week. Jen, you can reveal now. Are you going to be here or not here?
I'll be seeing you next week, guys.
Yes.
I hope you like it.
There we go. I'm sure everyone is going to love it. And Tropic Girl says, hi, Jen, Angelique. Even in the Metaverse, Jen is stunning. I saw those screenshots of your Metaverse character.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this new project, hosting this Metaverse show. I mean, there is a show, but I will be hosting that show in the Metaverse world.
On Arirang radio/TV's Metaverse platform. Wow. So when does that start? When can we see you and find you?
It's going to start from this season, and we're thinking about filming it like the 3rd of this month, hopefully.
The 3rd week of this month.
Yeah, and to be exact, it's Arirang radio, not the television. But it's going to be like 보이는 radio that we are on.
With the
channel.
Metaverse character.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how this is going to work. I can't wait to see it. So you'll be in the Metaverse. There'll be a show going on at the same time.
You know, actually yesterday, from one of the prestigious that starts with K, channel, they had this opening ballot through Metaverse on an app called Ifland.
Oh, nice. For the voting and elections.
Company. Yeah, and we're going to use that platform for our station as well.
Brilliant. We hope that listeners can benefit and meet Jen in the Metaverse as well. As far afield as Mexico, as Janet has got on board, I think for the first time, saying, hello, saludos desde Mexico. How's your Spanish, Jennifer?
Oh, Spanish. Can't think of one. I'm so disappointed. Sorry, guys.
Hola, señorita or señor. There we go. My Spanish is terrible as well.
Sentence.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's okay.
Hola, guys.
Today's hashtag is sukso, or accommodation.
Oh.
Can you tell us about any memorable accommodation you've stayed in?
Memorable
Could be good or bad.
You know, do you remember the episode where I showed you guys Hanok Hotel?
I posted up a photo of that Hanok Hotel in Songdo today. Yeah.
Today?
Yeah, because for the hashtag, I went through my photos and I was like, oh, Jen talked about this. It looks stunning.
Right?
Did you stay there?
I didn't stay there. I just stayed for the meal, but it was just so impressive that I wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, and other than that, for the hotels that I use these days, I have to say it's all about kids-related hotels. So I try to find those places where they have this kids-friendly room with the dolls, with the car-shaped bed, you know?
I'm thinking, because we call it like kids package here in Korea, right? Where you've got a kids room and like you said, there's dolls. The wallpaper may be like kids characters. The bed might be themed that way.
Robots.
Yeah, there might even be a slide or something. But I'm thinking now, we don't call it kids package, but we definitely have it in the UK. There's a Thomas the Tank Engine hotel we went to like 2 or 3 times because my son was mad about Thomas. And it was even more, like they had a TV screen in the bunk bed just for kids playing DVDs of Thomas the Tank Engine 24 hours a day.
It's like a heaven for them, isn't it? And we actually have a word for that, 키캉스. Kids plus vakangs. It's a Konglish.
Every Korean parent of young kids.
Kikangs is always right.
That's at the forefront of their minds. Okie dokie. Today's theme in terms of your video, though, Jen, it's not to do with accommodation per se.
Yeah. For this time, I'm going to show you this rare, unusual, unique cafes in Korea. And I'm not sure you remember it, but last week I showed you guys this gyeongbokgung palace where I tried the hanbok, the Korean traditional clothes.
Absolutely.
And after filming that spot, I thought, why not hit the Hanno cafes nearby? Because gyeongbokgung is the main palace in Korea.
Yeah.
And luckily I found this beautiful hanok cafes. Hanok means Korean traditional house, by the way. Han means Korea, ok means house. And I'll show you a couple of those Hanno cafes.
Beautiful. And you don't have to go like to the palace to see those. They're dotted here and there like hanok cafes.
Right.
If you find like traditional housing areas.
Just nearby the palace, there are a lot of cafes. And after the video, I'm also going to show you those cafes where they have this hanok view as well. From the cafe, you will see a row of, hanok village.
Oh, that can be nice as well. Because some hanoks are very modern inside. So you might not even know you're sitting in one, but if it has a view of the outside of the hanok, that's beautiful. Okay, so that's what we're going to see in our first video then.
Yes.
Let's take it away.
Here we go.
Oh, it's 2 stories.
Yeah, so this was the first Hanno Cafe.
Wow.
Just nearby the gyeongbokgung palace.
It's very grand, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's more common to have just one story.
Exactly. It went so well with my mom's outfit, hanbok, obviously. And as you said, the inside was very modern.
Sure, you're not sitting on the floor even in here, are you?
I think it has both ups and downsides. If you expect something traditional, you might be disappointed, but I think it's a good way just to feel comfortable and enjoy the traditions. And this was the second cafe.
Oh, this looks really nice.
Which
I like this.
Personally liked it more.
Yeah, I like a one-story hanok.
Yeah, it had both outdoor and indoor tables.
Oh, and there's lots of people there, aren't there?
Right.
Look at the ceiling.
The wall is all mirror.
Oh, wow.
The cafe name is Mirror Room. So
like lots of glass everywhere.
Quite small cafe, but very cozy.
How they decorated with the mirror, it looks much wider.
Yeah, it looks
and
much
I like
wider.
Kind of little details with the wooden plate.
Oh, you just sit on there with a little soban, the small
Yeah, you
table.
can choose either to use a modern style table or have the traditional wooden plate. In my case, I chose to just have the drink outside, which was also fine.
Definitely, because of COVID as well. I always, these days, try to look for places that have outdoor seating.
Right.
And in Korea, I swear when I first came here, that was really not that popular to find unless you were going really outdoors camping or barbecuing.
Yeah.
But now, more bars, more cafes, they're trying to get outdoor spaces. We're getting into the whole alfresco punigi or atmosphere more and more, I feel.
Yeah, and also the Hanno Cafe itself, I think it's relatively new trend. It was something that hanok for us, for native Koreans, as far as I know, it was something that you can only find in the folk village, like Minsokjeon, if you go far
back in
way
the day,
to
right?
the countryside. But now you're seeing more and more of these trends near the palace, but also near other places in Gangnams.
Yeah, where is it? In around Chongdo, Ikseondong, that place that is full of these little back alleys, which will really run down, has been regenerated amazingly. And lots of the popular places there, the bars and the cafes and the little shops are in renovated cafes. I absolutely love that atmosphere.
Yeah, and we were wearing the hanbok, right? But there were actually many more people wearing hanbok.
Going to the cafes.
Yeah, because nearby there were hanok rental stores. So not only people just walk in the palace, but like us having drinks in the cafe. And as you've spotted from the video, there were a lot of foreign visitors.
So not too many people like staring at you or anything. You didn't feel uncomfortable or anything,
Not
right?
at all.
That's amazing. We got some photos here, some delightful ones. Wow.
Yeah, this is a cafe from one of the place in Jongno-gu area.
Oh, it
nearby
doesn't
the
look-
Gyeongbokgung Palace again.
It doesn't look like Central Seoul at all.
No, isn't it?
And you're looking at the roofs of the hanoks. That's the most attractive point, I feel.
Right.
It's like the roofs from the outside, but also you saw in Jen's video, the inside, the ceilings with the wooden beams and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, it looks so nice and relaxing. Like, okay, we've got a nice modern ceiling here with big lights, but I want to see the wooden beams. Like, that makes me feel I'm in nature. or
Yeah,
something.
that wooden, peaceful vibe. And also, we've just seen the kiwas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is another photo. It's like a whole village, isn't it?
Wow, yeah, this is many. I went over to Umpyeong Hanok Mall, which is a relatively newly built one.
Actually, that is the Umpyeong Hanok village.
Do you know why that came to mind? Because I looked at this photo, I was like, that reminds
Right?
me of Umpyeong.
Oh, wow.
Because there are big hanoks there, like 2-story ones, and they're all hanoks in this area.
Yeah.
To be honest, the slightly disappointing thing was it's not been there too long, so there aren't too many cafes or restaurants. I think a lot of these hanoks
Still
are...
in the starting.
Yeah, or they're like
phrase,
maybe
actually.
just privately owned. You can live in them if you want to, but they're incredibly expensive.
Expensive, right? Yeah,
Wow,
and
what is
those
this one?
kiwa, the roof tiles.
Uh-huh.
So beautiful, isn't it?
That colour and all tiled on one another.
Yeah, and
Okay.
actually this cafe, I really want to visit this place this month, hopefully, because they have this view seeing the Changdeokgung Palace.
The
I'm not sure if
gardens and
that
everything.
building is the Changdeokgung, but you can have that view.
That's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
And we're seeing the traditional walls
Yeah.
and the gardens inside.
And then you're seeing like it almost looks like a traditional British cup of tea with a teapot and whatnot. I like that fusion, to be honest. Me,
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah.
seeing as I'm a fusion of Britain and Korea, I like to see it on the
That looks
screen
pretty
as well.
British. Yes.
Show us your unique cafes. If you don't have photos, just tell us about them as well, and we can share those messages later on. You can get in touch with videos and photos via Kakao Talk. Our username there is Daily K. Let's get onto a track from Shiny, perfect for what we've just been seeing, View. We're back for part 2, and we got messages coming in. Steve saying, such beautiful hanboks to match the artistic hanok interiors. Yeah, in English, you're just changing one letter from hanbok with a B to hanok with an N.
Yes, hanok. Han both means Korea.
Yeah.
So we have hanbok,
Bok meaning like
hanok.
clothes.
Bok means clothes, attire. Exactly.
Oh, and then hanguk, guk meaning like country,
country.
right? Korean country.
Korean country.
Oh,
There you
I
go.
love it. You're learning language with Jen as well as on a Tuesday with Moon So-hyun. You got a message as well?
Yeah, from Siska. I was in Hanok restaurant one time when wearing hanbok.
Oh.
It is a vegan restaurant nearby Gyeongbokgung Palace area. It is a nice place too. Ooh, vegan restaurant.
I've never been to a vegan restaurant.
You know, actually from the second Hanno Cafe that I just introduced, just right beside the cafe,
Yeah.
there was this restaurant. It was a Hawaiian restaurant.
In a
I'm not sure
hanok.
if that's in a Hanok.
That's
I
unusual,
actually
isn't it?
filmed
That's amazing. Wow.
Really? Yeah.
I do like Hawaiian food, those kind of poke bowls and stuff like that. Hooligan KJ saying, I admire your mum's chutzpah. I learned that term recently. I think it's a Hebrew term to mean like that kind of attitude, like
the
a
energy,
good,
like the vibe.
We love having your mum in our videos. Thank you so much.
You're going to see her passion again in the second video.
Oh, now I'm very curious.
Yeah.
You got another message?
Yeah, from Tropic Girl. That place is gorgeous. Mom and Jen were standing out in their hanboks. Yeah, I have to be honest. We were the only people wearing the hanbok in that cafe alone. Yeah, so we need some courage and all
Yeah.
that. But I think it made it out pretty well.
And to film doing that as well
Yes,
is an
just for you all.
extra layer of courage. Noor saying, I think the places that you've shown, one of them at least looks like a filming spot. I'm sure in Korean dramas or maybe even the saguks, the historical dramas, there must be some of these places used as the backdrop because they are just beautiful indeed. Oh, Hooligan KJ coming up with another Han something. Hangul. So the Korean writing.
There you go.
Yeah, you said Korean literature, but I think the gul here literally means the writing, right?
The writing, the letter. And
letters.
한식, Korean food.
There you go.
Yeah.
We've got it all for you on hashtag Daily K. We should call it hashtag Daily Han then, or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's get on to your second video, Jen, then. What are we going to see here?
Now, I'm going to take you all to another interesting place in Kimpo City.
Oh.
This is another cafe which is really grand with animals, sushi bars.
And the
and
Eiffel
boats.
Tower, it looks like.
Yes.
All right,
that's
let's
in
check
front
it
of the
out.
entrance. So this is the entrance of Susan Park Cafe, Susan 공원.
Not like Susan as in the English name.
Susan, yes.
Ah, like
Su
the sea.
means water.
Okay. There's
So
little boat
Susan
seats.
means marine animals.
Wow.
We're seeing the boats. Yeah, I think this is the main theme of this cafe, to give you that vibe, exotic vibe. You can have your beverage sitting inside the boat. Of course, the water, that is just a painting, not the real water.
But you feel like you're in the sea
Yeah.
almost. And they've got
And
turtle videos.
In the back wall, you've just seen that wide screen with the turtles, the sharks, and the bread were just so good.
Yeah, I don't care about the sharks. I want these croissants with cream inside.
And
wow.
interestingly, they had this little secret place. So they had the
Stairs to
to the
heaven.
heaven.
Wow.
So we went up.
in heaven. In the heaven, I'm seeing a wolf.
There was this
Heart
wolf
eyes.
painting. And when you open up the door,
Uh-huh.
this is the view you get.
It looks like you're...
It's a trick art, guys.
Oh, so you're not actually going to fall off a cliff,
No.
but it looks like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I filmed this climbing
Oh,
with
dear.
the stairs. That's my mom.
Your mama's fallen down the cliff.
I think she fits better in this position, really. She went all the way up to that stairs to get that view.
Oh, you were filming from up there.
Yeah.
That cafe must have cost a lot of money to make. It's huge.
You
Like
know,
that whole building
there
is
wasn't
the
any
cafe?
entrance fee.
Wow.
Nothing at all.
And the
really.
prices of like the coffee and the bread, like not crazy.
Not crazy. Yeah. And you know what? They have this little place where you can see the alpacas, the rabbits.
Near there.
Just, I guess just right beside the building.
Wow, part
It's
of the
part
cafe.
of the building.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
it is part of the building.
That's unbelievable. I'm going to have to go there with the kids.
You should.
I've seen a kind of trend in the past few years for like these huge cafes, not like in Seoul because I think it's too expensive
Yeah.
for the land, but like just outside Seoul in places like Paju. I've not been to one in Incheon, but that's where that one was. Wait, in
In
Kimpo.
Kimpo City.
Kimpo City.
Yeah, so it's closer
Oh my
than
goodness.
Incheon.
That's amazing. And like free parking and stuff.
Free parking, free entrance fee.
All right, Susan Cafe, that's where I'm going this,
This
weekend,
weekend,
I
maybe.
feel, yeah. So outside they had all that trick art just on display and you just get to do whatever you want there.
Yeah, it was pretty wide. And I'm not sure if it fits well with the marine animal theme, but who cares if you like it, if the kids love it.
Yeah, I don't know how many alpacas live in the sea. Just once again, if you missed it while we were doing the video description, the Susan, you'll see that like at the Susan Shijangs, right? So the seafood markets. Susan itself is just meaning like marine in
Yeah,
general.
so 수 means water, 산 means from production. So 해산물 means seafood. 수산 means water related products, but it can include the foods, the items. So here it's talking about the marine animals,
Wow.
I'd say.
Stacey says, this is now part of my bucket list. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Noor saying, okay, I love visiting free places. I think the reason it's all free is you're supposed to perhaps purchase a coffee or some bread. You don't have to.
There
Like you
was
could
no
walk in there.
pressure, actually. Yeah.
So if you want to, you could
Yeah.
just walk to the trick
Well,
art bit.
it's a manner to buy a
Yeah.
coffee, but
I think that would be
it
nice.
was so grand, huge, And I went there on the weekdays, and there weren't a lot of people, but I'm sure that it will be packed with a lot of, crowds
on the
during
weekends.
the weekends.
Yeah. Siska says, trick art is really fun, and I took pics at the trick art museum until I got muscle pain. Yeah, because I think for some, you're meant to pose in certain ways to make the trick art work.
I'm sorry to hear that, though.
There is a trick art like museum in Central Seoul, isn't there? So I think in Hongdae, maybe there's one as well.
Yeah, I went to that place way back in the past, like almost 10 years ago. I'm not sure it's the same one, but I paid the fee, and considering that, I think it's, worth to visit this cafe.
Yeah, because it's free.
By the trick art alone, right?
Princess Mama asks us, do they have dog cafes in South Korea?
Oh, a lot, guys. It's a thing. It's a trend.
It really depends, again, what you're asking, because I think there's two big types, like a dog cafe where you don't have a dog and you go, right? And you just see the dogs in the cafe. Like my kids love that because we don't have pets.
Yeah.
So you pay and you can buy dog treats, and then the dogs live in this cafe. I don't know how nice that is for them, to be honest. Some are underground even, but they're popular with kids. And then I think dog owners, they go to different types of dog cafes where their dogs can like run around and stuff, right?
It's really interesting that there are two types, actually. I thought there were only the second type. I have a dog, actually, and
nice.
He's in Daegu at the moment, and we've been to some cafes. But I've
take
never
your dog
actually...
with you?
Yes, of course. They have this little place where dogs can just play with each other.
Yeah.
But they have this category depending on the weight. So if it's too
bigger
big,
dogs in this area, smaller ones in this one. Yeah. Because I don't have a dog. I never go to those ones. I just go to the first type one. My kids yesterday, we saw a puppy on the street, started playing with it, and then my kids were like, okay, I want to go to a 강아지 cafe. And that's the one that they mean. So I wonder what you mean, Mama Wolf, as well, because I'm guessing in the States, the latter, dog owners would want to go to cafes more. And then our producer also mentioned the cat cafes. I've seen it, and the one we went to in Bucheon was a cat and dog cafe, but they have them in separate rooms so they don't fight or anything. And the cats
choice.
They just kind of sit there and don't do much. The dogs go mental when you come in. We'll talk about some more interesting, unique cafes in part 3 and your content as well, guys. Send it in to us via Kakao Talk. Daily K is our username for photos and videos. For messages, just write it down on YouTube, via the application or the website. Let's get on to this from Rothy describing the cafe that Jen showed us, featuring Chanyo, Ocean View. We're back for part 3 of K-Patch with Jen in the studio. She's brought us a couple of lovely videos, one with some hanok cafes, the traditional housing, and then one of something very modern, the Susan Cafe, or marine-themed cafe. And you've brought us some just bonus photos of a really... As a parent, I want to go to cafe.
Yeah, it's a really fresh, recent experience I had. I happened to visit this place where they had massage chair.
Those big, beautiful chairs are actually massage chairs.
It's a massage chair.
Wow.
And you have to know you only need to pay the fee of the coffee.
And then you can use that as long as you want.
No limited time hours.
I'm wondering, the one thing I'm worried about...
So this is the heaven, I'd say.
I'm a little bit timid. So what if those are full of you guys, like in this photo? Are there many chairs?
Yes, there was a row of chairs.
Okay.
Not so many, and I think that's another good plus for us these days because of the pandemic. And there's this distance between the chairs.
You can just sit in them for as long as you want, looking out the window as well.
Out the window, they had this full window, and you might wonder where this place is, right?
Yes.
It is in the Pangyo city.
Okay.
Pamias Mall.
Oh.
Pamias Mall.
Pangyo has
a shopping mall. Yeah.
really boomed. From when we came back to Korea in 2016, I think they just opened the new department store there around that time. And it's got so many of the big tech companies in the tech valley there. It's a really banging place to go. And from here in Seocho, you take the expressway. It takes like 20 minutes without traffic. It's so very close. Yeah. I'm going to go there. Thank you for showing me that. And just a little note to our listeners, massage chairs in Korea, I think of been getting really popular the past like 5+ years. BTS promote a certain brand of massage chair, right? And I have like multiple friends who have a massage chair in their house. Like, I'm always thinking, how wealthy are you? But they tell me it's not that crazy. I think you can get them from about 600,000 won, the decent ones, about $500. Or you can rent them as well for like a year or two.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, I think.
You know, after all, it's not an option for me living in a small place. It's
Me
gonna
too.
fill up our living room.
Yeah, maybe we could use them as dining chairs at the same time, but that would look a bit
Or as a
ridiculous.
bed,
Yeah. What are these photos? Is this from you, Jen, or from one of our listeners?
Yeah, it's from, I think, from our producer name.
Oh no, this is Ing Yin.
From Ing, sorry, from our loyal listener.
I thought it was yours because you're a parent like me, and this looks like a kids'
we're
cafe.
used to this kind of cafe, right? Kids cafe.
But Ing Yin says it's apparently a unicorn-themed cafe, but it seems like it's no longer open. In Korea, this looks like a common kids cafe,
yeah,
right?
it's something we're familiar with, right? With the ball pools,
Absolutely.
the dolls.
And the bright colours to inspire the kids and whatnot.
Yeah,
But-
and I think it's meant for the girls.
It looks like
all
it's
pinky, isn't it?
targeting that gender, doesn't it? Although these days, I guess boys and girls alike could
sure.
go. But, yeah, I wonder why it closed down. Because in Korea, kids' cafes are so popular. There are chains.
So huge, guys.
Yeah, chains of
Yeah.
them. Because I think why parents love them is you take your kids, even if they're only children, they hopefully make friends with someone else, and then you can just have a coffee and a meal and relax. Right?
Yeah, I think it's meant for targeting both kids and moms. Yeah, they always have this place where moms can have coffee and have mom chats with the little sweet chairs.
And usually it's quite far from the play area if you want. So you can say, kids go over there, we're going to go over here, don't disturb us. Ing Yin also sent in another cafe here in Malacca, I think you say. And this was recognized as a UNESCO Heritage World City in 2008. And the cafe itself was filled with antiques, as you can see.
I really want to go there. I love antiques. What about you, Peter?
In the UK, we have so many antique shops that look like this. A bit of a
It's
mess.
pretty common in the UK, right?
In Korea, it's quite hard to find a shop like this.
That sofa looks so pretty and cozy.
Yeah, if you like that retro vibe, other people might think it looks old and just messy in there, but I like that vibe as well. Wow, that's a cafe.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ying Ying.
So lovely.
Brilliant stuff. I'm sure there must be some cafes with that kind of theme here in Korea as well. And the place I remember now is there's an Itaewon like antique kori. Have you
Yes.
seen that? That's got lots of
Antique
shops.
furniture
Yeah.
street. I've been there.
I think it's expensive though, like to buy
Right?
not nice pieces.
Yeah, and I'm not so good at 흥정에, like bargaining with the owners. I'm always the losing side.
You can feel a bit
I
self-conscious
just look
doing that.
around and
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's just nice for the atmosphere. You also,
Sure.
Ingin, participated in today's Sukso hashtag or accommodation, and it says, this was my tiny room in Hong Kong. It's just got enough room for the bed and a side table, and that's it. The TV's even attached to the wall. I've never seen a hotel room, or never been in, I should say, a hotel room that small. Have you?
You know, I heard that the real estate is really, really hot in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
as we all know.
Sure.
And I've seen some places that we call it capsule rooms. It's
Like-
not even a hotel, it's a house for normal, just ordinary people.
Oh, really? Just a tiny
Smaller
little
than
space.
that, yeah. But still, looking at the photo, it's really tiny. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
for a hotel room. Yeah, I guess there are those really tiny hotel rooms where you just kind of lie down in it for a night. I've seen
Yeah.
those as well. At least it's bigger than that, Ingin, I suppose, is the bright side. We've also got this from Tropic Girl, I believe, again, for the Sukso side of things, but I think cafe
wow.
is mixed in as well. That room looks beautiful.
Fantastic, isn't it? The
With-
ceiling.
Yeah, you said it's the old rail car at an inn in Montana. Oh, so this is an actual old car for a train.
Wow.
you get to stay in there, and that must be the driver's area. You say it was a Great Northern 441 historic diesel locomotive. It had the operator's cab restored with the engineer's seat and original control stand. My dad, who loved trains, would have loved that. And that's your room. That thing there. That's amazing.
I thought it was filmed in a grand hotel building.
It looked like
wow,
it,
the
right?
ceiling looked really high, isn't it?
Wow. And this is some of the interior there. It's quite narrow, I guess, because it's a train, but the rugs on the floor and whatnot
Wow.
look beautiful.
It's
And
very earthy, isn't it?
yeah, the toiletries look
And the sunlight
fantastic.
coming in from the ceiling.
Oh, wow. I want to stay here. Look at the lake and the mountains. That is so
Now that is
grand.
breathtaking, isn't it?
The clouds
It's
in
almost
the
like
sky.
a sea.
Unbelievable. Thank you for sending those in. You've also sent in some meals and a coffee. So this is kind of along the cafe theme, I suppose. You said it was on a sailboat on the inside of the Gaylord Palms Hotel in Orlando. So this is a sailboat indoors.
Hotel area.
Wow, that's so cool.
Amazing.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of like Lotte World, or maybe like
Yeah.
some of the casinos in Las Vegas that try to imitate Venice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in Macau. right?
Yeah. And some sand
Beautiful. We're
sculptures.
seeing the sculptures. Oh, that's made of sand.
I
Wow.
think so. It's meant to look like that.
Very sophisticated.
And the big sail. And then the boat is in actual water. And there are actual stingrays
We're seeing the fishes.
in the water.
So the fishes actually live in the water.
All right, now I'm not impressed with your Soor Cafe, Jen. There were no real stingrays. And it looks like, what, they've got some
You
fish and
guys
chips.
always bring much better photos.
Yeah, we can rely on you
I'm
guys to
getting
go
jealous.
exotic. All right, Korea is still great though, and we do love it, and we'd like you to come here and go to the Marine Cafe
Sure.
over in Gimpo. You got a couple of messages as well.
From Steve. The tantalizing desserts, indoor canoes, and the video screen are amazing.
See, Steve likes Jen's video.
Thank you.
Yes.
And from Leon Teo, so many beautiful cafes in South Korea with so many unique concepts. That's true.
we
We're
do-
seeing more and more different concepts, right?
Do you know, I was thinking the other day, when I was here in 2004, 2005, you know, out of university, I was just working here for 6 months, there was a whole trend of concept bars. So not cafes, but bars where you drink alcohol. And I can remember going to a beach bar in Gangnam. So
Oh, wow.
inside it was sand. You could take off your shoes and just sit at the tables. There was also a foot spa bar at that time where you take off your shoes and socks, put your feet in a foot spa and drink whiskey on the table. It was
So there's
amazing.
a beach vibe environment in the building.
Yes, indoors. It was so
Also
unique.
the water?
And the water, that was a separate bar just called the Foot Spa Bar.
Interesting. Wow.
And I think those places, they kind of died out. And maybe now, you're right, it's a trend for cafes to do that. Like I've seen plant cafes. I think we've shown you some with Cedric way back when. And now you're mentioning hanok cafes, which Leon noticed. I think Kiwon, one of our previous guests as well, showed us before. But they're booming so much these
probably
days.
because, cafes are more open to wider range of
Yeah.
ages.
And I think
Clearly
drinking in Korea, it
Yeah.
maybe has reached its peak and people are taking better care of their health and things like that. Thank you so much for all of your messages. And thank you, Jen, as ever, for these beautiful
Thank
videos.
you all.
Do we know, have we got anything in the pipeline for next Thursday or it's up in the air?
You know what, guys? Today, I'm going to this very special place.
Oh,
BTS Seoul concert is on today.
are you going?
And I'm going to go there, guys.
Do you have a ticket?
I don't have a ticket.
Oh, but you're going to
sorry.
go to the
I'm gonna
area.
show you all that festive vibe for you.
Oh my
It's going to be
goodness.
amazing.
All right, our
Waiting for
army
that.
are absolutely going to go a little bit nuts. So please do film as much as you can. And we look forward to that next week. So guys and girls, if you've got anything, I guess, concert related, get your photos and your videos ready for next Thursday. Jen, have a wonderful week. We'll see you next season.
See you next week. Bye.
Here's Forever Young Tara from Germany with a message and a song request saying, hello, the lovely Daily K team. I wanted to ask if you could play Walk In featuring Sumin. It's Otis Lim. Such a funny and lovely guy, and his songs always make me smile. I wish more people get to know him and his music better. Let's see what we think of this.